Yo, what's going on, guys? So I want to do a trade recap of all the trades I took this week, how I made 10K this week, and I might as well just include the Sunday watch list and drop them as one full video instead of just, two separate videos. So starting off with Monday, I was looking at SPY going into Monday, or is it at Monday here? And I'm gonna do a trade recap on the trades I took this week. So going into Monday, starting off around this time. A key level that I had on my chart was the previous day low. So previous day low would have been Friday because of the weekend. So I was looking at Friday's low here at the 570.7. And as you can see, we right when the market opens, we break below. So what I'm looking for here is a break and retest of the previous day low in order for me to take this lower down into like this 568 level. And there was like a level of demand around this 565. So I wanted to take a break and retest like this to catch the move lower. But pay attention to what's going to happen here. So the next candle doesn't give us the retest. It's still showing a lot of weakness. And then on the third candle, we reclaim the level. So that is not a type of candle I would want to take a rejection off of. So therefore, me taking the break and retest to go lower is no longer a part of my plan anymore because of how we came back up and reclaimed the level. This is a reclaim, not a break and retest. If it was a break and retest, I would have liked for it to come up very, very slowly and hold below the level. This came up very fast and it closed above the level. So when I seen that, all I'm looking for now is a reclaim and a hold above previous day low. And notice this next two candles. This was a retest here. So I made an entry on calls here on this retest, and my target was this 572 area here. 572 around that 200 SMA, close to the pre-market highs. And this trade made me about $400. Just a quick scalp, but I still took one more trade this day, which was a very, very, very good trade. And I was using it in confluence with QQQ. So if we go to QQQ on Monday, let's go to Monday on QQQ. Monday on QQQ, another key level that I was watching was the pre-market high. As you guys can see, the pre-market high here on QQQ around that 489 got a big rejection. So the market opens and same thing happened. We reclaimed previous day low on QQQ as well. And we sent it all the way up to the pre-market high. And QQQ started getting a reversal as it no longer made a higher low and a higher high. So we broke down this trend line. We rejected the pre-market high, and it was a big sign for me to potentially go short. But I did not take QQQ. I took SPY as we were making lower highs as well. So notice how we didn't make a higher high and we kept rejecting that 200 SMA. So I made an entry off of this candle here, just a reject and confluence. Notice how it's at the same time, 8:10 a.m., 8:10 a.m. They were both at a big level of resistance at the same time. So if QQ would have reclaimed and broken above pre-market high, and if SPY would have broken above that high of day and the pre-market high, I would have gotten stopped out. So it was a very good risk-reward ratio. The target was previous day low at the 570.7, and now we have a new target at the low of day. So the entry point from here down to here was about 220%, and I made 2K on this trade. So overall Monday, I started off with a 2.4K day. Going into Tuesday now, election day. Let's go into SPY on Tuesday. So going into SPY on Tuesday, we have election day and very, very strong price action right off of the open. Some key levels that I had on my chart was previous day high here at 572.45. A lot of these trades I literally alerted to the free broadcast channel. If you go back and scroll through and look at Tuesday, I said watch SPY above previous day high. So here at the previous day high, 572.46. Notice how we had a huge reaction there on Monday and we rejected very aggressively. So here on Tuesday, we came up very aggressively. We had very, very strong price action. So there's two scenarios here, reject or break and retest. But the way that we came up there is not a way I would want to take a reject. It came up too fast. And then the next candle is a bullish hammer. And then we get that close, break and close above. So I waited for the retest. I had two different time frames up, the 1 minute time frame and the 5 minute time frame. I waited for that pullback on the 1 minute time frame, retest held. And the next target wasn't until like 575, 574, which was previous 2 days ago's high, previous day highs. And I pretty much made about $900 on this trade from here to here, called it a day, and I was done on Tuesday. Going into Wednesday, Trump got elected, market jumped up from 576 all the way up into 590. Key levels that I had on my chart Wednesday was the pre-market high at 590. And I had to zoom out. I zoomed out and seeing that we broke the all-time high here at 586. So all I was looking for was an all-time high break and retest. And notice how we came down, held the previous all-time high with a bullish hammer here, made entries on calls here, and I wrote it up to the VWAP. So kind of like from there to there. Very quick scalp, just a very light scalp on that move. And the confluence that I had behind this was QQQ at the same time, Wednesday. Pulled back to a very psychological level, which was 500. Notice at the same exact time, down here, 6:55 a.m., QQQ at 6:55 a.m., also at 500. So two levels are very key bounce areas. The confluence I use looking at both of these at the same time. Thursday, going into Thursday was a big day. It was a big day for me that made me $7,000 on Tesla. And a lot of people asked me, how did you take this trade? Because some people didn't see entry opportunities on it. We didn't really get a break and retest. And I was looking for a break and retest. So going into Thursday, levels that I had on my chart was previous day highs here at 290. Notice how we have multiple rejections here at 290, big rejection, 290, huge rejection, 290, big rejection, or not as big of a rejection. Notice how the rejections get smaller the more we touch it. So that's a big hint that sellers aren't really showing up as they did back here. And so off the open, we got a rejection right off of 290. So I had to stay patient, right? But I was also looking at this pre-market low area. This pre-market, and on the hourly chart, it was mainly an hourly chart trade. On the hourly chart, oh no, my screen froze up. Okay, on the hourly chart though, is what I was really looking at this as we were holding the 9 EMA on the hourly, and the 4-hour chart looks so bullish as well. Notice how we're just making higher lows and higher lows. And Tesla is up 14%. So this is a name that's relatively strong. Anything above 290, it literally had nothing but room to 300. Literally nothing but room above that 290. So I was looking for either a bounce around the pre-market low or the break and retest of 290. So notice this next candle, we came close to the pre-market low and we held it with a bullish hammer. We held the 200 SMA. So I bought calls here. So I got a small starter position here. And we went up to 290, rejected again. So my risk reward ratio here was something like this. If I made my entry here, my stop loss was below the pre-market low. And if we got the breakout of 290, we had room to 300. Or like 298 is where I took profit. So it was a 3-to-1 risk reward ratio. We rejected 290 again. So here I was like, okay, I'm going to wait to see if we do get below and my stop hits, or if we make another higher low. And here I'm looking at it on 2 different time frames. I'm looking at it the 1-minute time frame, the 5-minute time frame, and I even have the hourly chart up. The hourly chart gave me no signs that this was going to sell off. The hourly chart candle, I had like, it was so clear as day that it was strong and it was pushing higher. But these smaller time frames permitted me to get an entry. So here, as we start making a higher low, holding the VWAP, we're holding the VWAP, we're holding the 200 SMA on the smaller time frame. We start getting the breakthrough here. I added on this higher low here. So I added here at the bottom and I added more here for that breakout of 290. This is just a lot of it. This is just experience at this point though, right? I can calculate my risk reward before a breakout and I can really get a good read on these higher time frames as to when a stock is showing strength. And notice the hourly chart, literally nothing but strength. We're holding that 9 EMA. Holding that pre-market low. Pre-market low was in confluence with a nice area that bounced yesterday as well, or the day before. And we held it very well. So I was in before the breakout and I was able to capitalize on the IV spike on these contracts. and I made about $7,000. I took some trims at 295 and sold the rest at 298. Very, very good trade. Nothing but strength. Literally nothing but strength. And then just insane. $7,000 on the day in the first 2 hours of the market open. Just insane. And now going into Friday, that was Thursday. Going into Friday, I also had Tesla on watch and I had SPY on watch. So let's go over SPY first and then I'll go over Tesla. So SPY on Friday, I did take a losing day on Friday. Very clear as day, probably not the smartest trade. It was clear as day. Same level that I had was the pre-market high and previous day high. And notice how we reject pre-market high pretty aggressively. We get a move from 596 down to 595, 594. And the market is pretty extended. So I was too early on trying to short the market. Where really ES 6000, SPX 6000, and SPY 600 is a much higher confidence level to take a rejection at than the level I tried taking a rejection off of on Friday. So here I started seeing, right, we failed to hold above it. Candle's still strong though. There was no real reason for me to take a rejection here. Next candle closed below again, so I entered puts. And then, right, I got a nice move down to the VWAP and the 9 EMA. I didn't take profit. I wanted to sell off down to like 595, 596. We held very well, and I got stopped out at the high of day. So I was about a 20% loss. Actually, that was my second trade. My first trade, I actually did try taking the break and retest above on a smaller time frame, which was also a 15% loss. So I tried taking a break above, retest, and I was just too early on it, and I got stopped out down here. Really held VWAP, no reason to get out either. So just a bad read off the open. I should have just been a little bit more patient. So 2 back-to-back losses right off of the open. And I missed the Tesla 300 breakout. I also had Tesla above 300 as it was these pre-market highs and previous day highs. We broke through with a lot of strength, no retest. But notice how this 305 level, we rejected once, twice. We broke above with strength. So I took the retest of 305 here, stop loss below 305, and I caught this up to 310 for about 70% on Tesla. But I still ended the day red, even though this made me 70%. I still ended the day red, like around $300. But that's how I made $10,000 this week. I made a big withdrawal Friday morning before the market opened, and just resetting. These market conditions are insane. These market conditions really, really, really are insane. Hope you guys learned a lot from this trade recap. What goes into the thought process of me taking these trades, the confluence I use behind taking these trades. And yeah, guys, that's gonna be the trade recap. I'll probably do a Sunday watches after. I don't want to make this video too long. Yeah, anyways, guys, I hope you guys learned a lot from this. Make sure to like, join the podcast channel. Everything's free in the podcast channel, literally free game. And like, comment. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a good week as well. Peace.